Our first step is to go File, New, and open a new part. Followed by that, what we'll do is we'll go File, Save As, and we'll save it as Jug Kettle. Yes, and we'll save it to the desktop or whatever location we want. After that, our next step is to pick our top plane, look normal to it, and select the center from the sketch toolbar. Draw out a circle with the center at the origin. Use the line command and just trace out to get the sketch that's in the notes. You can see the auto snapping on for the right angle corner, and once that's done, we'll go to trim. We'll use the power trim by pressing the left button, and it draws a little grey line over and make it cross over your line that you want to cut. Smart dimension then the radius of the circle to 55 and rename the sketch by just clicking on it, then press F2 and call it base sketch. Once that's done, features, extruded boss base, extrude in a blank condition 30 millimeters. Then rename the feature base or kettle base. Select the top surface by just clicking on it, goes green, look normal to it, and what we will do then is we will sketch a circle onto the top surface there, roughly the radius 40. Once that's done, we put a point on from our sketch toolbar at this location by just clicking. That will be used later for our spout, and then we'll smart dimension it to be diameter 80. Once that's done, rename the sketch, click on Sketch 2, hit F2 on your keyboard, and we will call it Body Sketch. And there we have it in 3D. Features, extrude boss base, blind condition, and 120 millimeters high. Tick OK, and we'll rename that then to be Kettle Body. Our next step is to select the top surface for creating the top part of the spout. We'll look normal to it. We'll select the line by going Sketch, Line. We'll come out to the left quadrant. We'll draw a line roughly down to here. Make sure that it's in line with the origin. You'll see the snap coming up, and complete it the other side. Once that's done, our next step is to smart dimension from the outer point to the origin, and we'll make it 55. Once that's done, we have to get a sketch around the edge of the top of the kettle here. So what we'll do is select the edge, Tools, Sketch Tools, Convert to Entities. What that does is it puts a line at the top edge that was there that's in the sketch. Now, our next step is to trim away our waste, so we would go to Trim Entities on our sketch toolbar. Same method again, power trim. Left click on the mouse, drag it over your line, and it makes it disappear. Now, our final step is to try and fully define these points. So what we're going to do is we go to Add Relation, and we select the top half of the line here, and we'll just fix it. And we won't worry about the bottom half. Now, our next step is to create the spout. You can see the sketch is still active there. So what we'll do is we'll rename the sketch first. Top spout sketch. Now our next step is to show up the sketch in the bottom, so right click on it and just go to show, and you can see the point has just shown up there. So features, lofted boss base, and we select the point at the bottom. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to select the region at the top, so you can just scroll down through the feature tree, feature manager in the loft boss base and select the region there, and then out on the spout, and you see this preview of the spout popping up. Tick OK once you're happy with it. Now you can see the base sketches, body sketch is still showing, so right click on it and hide. And we'll just rename that loft Spout loft. Following that, our next section is the shell. So we select shell from our features, and it will be a 1mm shell. So type in 1 and select the surface that we want to shell. Now our shell is going to be slightly different here. I'll just show you why. So we'll just tick OK, and you can look down and you can see that it's hollow. And I'm just going to open a section of it just to show you something here. Now, down at the bottom here, we want the bottom of our base of our kettle to be solid, but it has been shelled out. So what we'll do is we'll just knock off the section there and we'll delete the existing shell. So just right click on it and scroll down to delete. Now once that's done, we'll just open up shell again, and we're going to use a multi-thickness shell. Same again for the top, and just scroll down here and you have multi-thickness settings. So we'll just click down here, that's the face that you want to keep, so we want 30mm thickness at the bottom, and we select the base. And then tick OK, and we'll just have a look at it in the section again. We'll just rename it Shelled Kettle. Look at a section of it, and you can see there that the base of it now is solid. And that's what multi-thickness lets us do. Now our next job is to put on the handle, so we look at our front plane, normal 2. We'll open up the sketch toolbar and recreate the sketch that's in the notes. And don't forget to close the profile. Now once that's done, it's smart to mention it with the dimensions that are given, 25, 20, 45, 10 and 10 here. Now you can see our sketch. Our next job is to rename that sketch, and we'll call that handle sketch. We will extrude then in a mid-plane condition. You can see there it's over emphasized, but that it doesn't shine up with the full body of the sketch. So what we'll do is we'll just make the thickness that we want. There will be a little gap that we'll just zoom in on. Now we'll just rename it extruded handle. And since it has been extruded, you can see that there's a gap between the handle and the curved body of the kettle. So what I want to do here is we just zoom in and we select the surface there by just clicking in on it, and we look normal to it, and we look just around from the other side. Then what we're going to do is we're going to look at it in a wireframe model with hidden detail. And what we're going to do is we'll just zoom in up here, and we're going to recreate a sketch of a rectangle. So just select one of the corners, drag it to the other corner, and that's your sketch. It will be fully defined. Then we'll just turn it back on shaded with edges. And what we'll do then is we'll go into features, or rename the sketch first, and we'll rename that sketch handle face sketch. Once that's done, we will then extrude up to surface. So you just choose up to surface and it'll extrude it, and we select the curved surface, and what it does is it fills in the little gaps there. And we rename that then handle face extrusion. Our next step is to put on the buttons for the kettle, and we select this face down here, and we look normal to it, and just zoom in on it a bit. Sketch a rectangle down here for one of the buttons, and we just smart dimension it with the dimensions there. 15, 15 again, then 8, and 12. Now, once that's done, we'll extrude that, or rename it first. So we'll call it Switch 1 Sketch. Click on F2 on your keyboard. And then Features, Extrude Boss Base, and 6mm. And there it's extruded, and we'll rename that Switch 1 Extrusion. Now that that's done, what we'll do is we'll look at the side surface of the switch, select it, and we look normal to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut away half of that. So we'll go Sketch Line, join one diagonal, or join one corner to the other. Now, once that's done, we'll call that Switch Surface Sketch. Another option with that would be to draw the full profile around of a triangle, and then it will be a cut extrude. So we're going to go Features, Extruded Cut, and this time it will be through all. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to scroll down into Feature Tree to Selected Contours, which is regions that you can cut, and it lets you pick. And we'll just pick the upper half there, and you can see a preview of it done. And we'll call then that Switch Surface. Once that's done, then we select the side surfaces switch, look normal to it, sketch, and we just draw out the outline of the profile with the line command. Create a triangle, and then we rename that sketch Switch to Sketch. Followed by that, then we extrude it 15mm. Now it's important once it's 15mm extruded, to knock off merge result, because what will happen is it will join the two switches up and you won't have a line of definition between the two of them. And we just renamed in that Switch to Extrusion. Now our next step is to edit the material, and we give it right click and edit material, pick plastics, polythene high density, and we'll just tick OK. And we'll turn on the real view graphics. Now tick OK, and there you have it. Now to put colour on, real view graphics won't let you do it, so just knock off the real view. That's the little golden ball symbol. And what we'll do is we'll select the kettle base first, right click on it, and then scroll down to appearance and colour. We'll pick a dark yellow for it. And once we're happy with that, tick OK. After that, our next job is I'm just going to left click and highlight the rest of the body from the switches of right click, appearance and colour, and then pick a lighter yellow and just tick OK. Now, the next thing is to colour the switches. So switch 1 and switch surface are parts of the same switch. So just left click, creates a box around them, highlights the two of them, right click, then come down to appearance and colour, and then just pick red. And repeat the same then for the last item. Just you can right click on it, appearance, colour, and then just pick a green. That has your kettle done. Now our next step here is to change our extruded handle, so we just right click on the extruded handle and we go edit sketch, and it opens it up here for us to change the size of all the items by just double clicking on it. And you can change them to the sizes that need to be changed. And there it's done.